This life not really balanced, yeah? So now they know say they want disqualify Peter Obi. Now they know say they want disqualify Labour Party. And now, see the reason why I say in life, always make sure that you are pushing harder. You are always striving to go further in life. Because even the same people that are saying that you cannot do anything, you cannot be anybody, you cannot go far, you cannot have anything, you cannot achieve anything in life. These are the same set of persons that will still come and fight you or do everything within their human capability to bring you down later when you are going higher in life. Now still them. So now one tell me say since APC and PDP, NPP, ABGA, this, that, all the party, what it is what. Now one tell me say since when they exist. So nobody for diaspora don't send them money. Now one tell me say nobody don't donate money give them. Now I want disqualify Peter Obi. I know you're coming here to come talk too much. I know you're coming here to come shout or to come they say this, that. No. Just settle down, watch this video. I want to show you so. Make you by yourself conclude whether waiting this INEC official and this barrister waiting that they talk makes sense or not. Because not be me one judge this matter. Just settle down, watch this video. Now they know say they want to disqualify our Peter Obi. Their leg don't they shake. Now fear not they catch them. Say the man must win. Wanna watch now, wanna see what they talk.
Professor Patu Tomi yesterday revealed that the crowdfunding portals Nigerians in the diaspora plan to launch for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, will be unveiled next week. However, some leading lawyers have expressed concerns about the legality of the decision of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party to inaugurate the Diaspora Committee to raise $150 million from Nigerians in the diaspora and 100 billion naira from his supporters in Nigeria. While some senior advocates of Nigeria argued that the law prohibits the Labour Party from retaining any contributions made for its election expenses from the diaspora, former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Chief Joseph Daudu, did not foresee much constitutional logjam with the issue. Daudu observed that the only law that affects any donor or contributor is the one that limits the amount a candidate can raise for an election, in this case, which is the office of the president. Joining us now is Professor Paul Ananaba, a senior advocate of Nigeria and chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest and development law. Good morning, Professor Ananaba. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just heard the prologue you went through. Should I begin to comment on that?
Yes, please go ahead. That's the main issue. Is it legal to do crowdfunding and get funds from the diaspora by a presidential candidate?
Simply, the laws are very clear on this. The political party, Labour Party in this instance, or even any political party for that matter, can not raise funds from outside Nigeria. If they do, they cannot retain such funds, and it's a constitutional issue as much as a crime within the Electoral Act, Section 85. Now, let me take the constitutional part of it, Section 225, 2.3, A and B. It's very clear that the political party cannot raise funds outside Nigeria or retain funds or accept funds. If they do, they must within 21 days turn those funds over to INEC. And any contravention of that provision is a criminal offense. And I'm happy that we are now talking about election offenses commission and all that, so that these laws over time have been lying waste and they've not been activated. That's why impunity in the electoral system has continued for some time. I think that irrespective of the good intentions or whatever people will have to support political parties in Nigeria, particularly Nigerians abroad, they cannot do that from abroad. They can only come into Nigeria and contribute. And when they do, the Electoral Act Section 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90 deals with election financing. And the effect is that it's an offense under the Electoral Act to contribute more than 50 million naira. So, and if you are going to do that, INEC has to be notified. Now, Maybe because Peter Obi is in the Labour Party, that's why a lot of attention is paid to it. Our laws does not say anything about the candidates. If you look at Section 152 of the Electoral Act, it does not define a political party to include its candidate in election. Now, if you also look at the definition of a candidate, the candidate does not include a political party. And that's why in election petitions, and whether pre-election or the election petition itself, the political party and the candidate are stood separately. So the candidate is not caught up by this analysis I've made, these provisions of the Constitution may be going forward. So a candidate is not precluded from raising funds, but the political party is precluded. And if a political party raises funds, it must, within 21 days, report back to INEC, turn the funds over to INEC. It cannot retain the funds for more than 21 days. So I don't think that Labour Party has looked at that. If they have looked at that, they should practically warn themselves and move away from raising funds outside the country. Even when they're raising within Nigeria, they have limitations. They have to comply with the law. Everyone should be more law-abiding. No one should become too sentimental to avoid the clear provisions of the Constitution in this instance, and then the Electoral Act. Now, INEC has a duty to also regulate election expenses, and the political parties have duties to make returns to INEC as to how funds they raise, the expenses they make, and the Electoral Act is so clear that those funds must be accounted for. But those are in our law books. In practice, I've not seen that happen. INEC also has a duty to make returns as to its inspection and regulation of monitoring of finances of political parties to the National Assembly. I'm not sure that has been done, but in 2023, I think Nigerians will look forward to all these provisions of the Constitution and the Electoral Act being complied with. It's a no-no for any political party to go to raise funds from outside the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You were legal advisor to the Electoral Commission, INEC, and are well familiar with the law. What is the legality of that funding process? Can he and his party and their supporters do it?
Thank you. A distinction has to be drawn between Peter Obi, the candidate, and his sponsoring political party, the Labour Party. You quoted Section 225 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And people don't realize that section has been there right from inception, right from the promulgation of the Constitution in 1999.
So this is nothing new,
it's not
really.
New. It's not
right.
New. That provision has been there. Whether it's been enforced, whether it's been tested, it's a different issue entirely, but it's been there, contrary to what a lot of people believe. Following the promulgation of the Constitution, it requires that any funds brought by any political party from abroad should be handed over to INEC. It specifically forbids political parties from receiving funds from abroad, and that is almost international best practice. In the US, for example, it is forbidden for you to bring any monies from abroad, because the belief is that it should not influence US domestic policies, it should not influence US elections. So you know that our Constitution is modeled along the American line. So that has been there. But curiously, it does not forbid a candidate or an aspirant from receiving or bringing any money from abroad. What the section says specifically is that any political party, it prohibits political parties from bringing money from abroad and sanctions them if they do that. The Electoral Act now sanctions those people if any political party and officers of the party who is complicit in receiving money from abroad. So if Peter Obi is raising money from abroad, or any candidate for that matter, technically speaking, the law does not forbid it, because the Constitution itself says for you to punish anybody for contravening the law, there must be a written law known, published, gazetted by the state. Now, there is no law prohibiting individuals from receiving money from abroad. There is the Constitution, the ground norm, the supreme law of the land, which prohibits political parties from receiving monies from abroad. So that distinction must be drawn.
Well, that is very interesting.
Shebuna don't watch the video now, be. Thank God say the barristers don't still talk now say no law hope it will be if they donate money give them directly individually. Now, so now the party now the law hold if they donate money give labor. No wahala. After all, not be labor be our problem. Now Peter Obi now we want. Even if Peter Obi come up for Labour Party today, come go UPZWSYZ party, we'll see follow on. Now the Peter Obi now we want. Now be good head. Now he want help us repair Nigeria. Now we fight follow on. Now this say na the party. Now they find how now want to bring the party that say they donate money give Labour Party and I get disqualified. We're not going to donate. See, in fact, we are going to share this video to everybody in diaspora. I beg anybody who wants to support Peter Obi and anybody who wants to support Made in Nigeria for better. We're not going to donate money give Labour Party. We'll donate the money. We'll put it for Peter Obi account. After all, not the thief. All the banks where for all do governor, do manager, do everywhere. Thief. State where for rule, thief. We'll donate the money give one personally. After all, not go thief. See letter. See now. This one a letter. Where they write that time for Buhari support group for diaspora for APCO. Now be this one 2014. And we did campus that time. We they see everything when they happen. People in diaspora they donate money. See now see the letter. And he not get any mago one I want follow on this time. Peter Obi now we sign. Now we send this time. Any trick one I like one I take follow come. Peter Obi is the man we need as the president of Nigeria come 2023. Labour Party all the way.